afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Rebecca, great to see you here today. I want you all to take a moment and imagine that you just finished a speech. You survived. You remembered most of your words and you only said 41 times. You might have skipped a slide, you might have had some other technical issues, but otherwise you're feeling pretty good. Your evaluator walks up and they say, well, that was a speech. And just like that, your confidence leaves your body and you start heading for the parking lot. But imagine this instead. They say, Maria, you connected with your audience. Your points were clear. And I have one suggestion for your consideration that might make your next speech even better. Same speech, diverse evaluations. One makes you want to improve. The other one wants you to pretend like you have Wi-Fi issues. Well, today I'm going to talk about the secret sauce of Toastmasters evaluations and how to evaluate in a way that will motivate instead of devastate. Let's start with why evaluations matter. Toastmasters is probably the only organization where people voluntarily ask, can you please tell me everything that I did wrong? And then you applaud them for it afterwards. Well, evaluations help speakers in three ways. First, they provide that immediate feedback. Second, they offer practical ways to improve. And third, they build that self-esteem with the practice, practice, practice. That third one is the most important because I'll be honest, I've never finished a speech and thought, I've nailed it. I'm ready to be a TED Talk speaker. Move over, Simon Sinek. I found my why. Well, most of the time, I'm thinking, did I go too fast? Did my jokes work? Why is Deanna looking at me like I owe her money? Well, good evaluators help speakers see their strengths on things they didn't notice and give them opportunities for things that they can actually use. Let's talk about the legend of Bob the Destroyer. Imagine Bob the Destroyer. He does his evaluations like this. Your opening was weak, your timing was off, your gestures are unnatural. There are a lot of things that he could say. And at some point, I think he forgets that he's evaluating the speech and not reviewing somebody's existence. The goal isn't to prove how observant we are. The goal is to help speakers grow. Again, nobody has ever said that evaluation crushed my spirit. I have never been more motivated. Let's talk about how we do evaluations in Toastmasters. Let's talk about Bob the Builder. Great evaluations actually start before the speech. Nancy touched on this. The speaker sends their goals and their evaluation resource to their evaluator before, so that the evaluator knows what project are they working, what are they looking to achieve, how can I help them grow in a way that matters to them, because we want to meet people where they are. You don't evaluate an icebreaker like they're competing for the world championship of public speaking. You need to know that this is where they are, not where you think they should be. There's also something different that Toastmaster does, is that they do this evaluation style called tell and sell. That means that there's no conversation between the speakers. Your evaluator is there to tell you what they observed, and they're going to sell you on ideas of how you can improve. The reason why we eliminate that feedback or the conversation is so that the speaker is listening to the evaluator, not to reply back to them, but to absorb everything that they're saying. And at the same time, the evaluator is not concerned about offending the other people. Because as my favorite evaluator always said, Jim Tracy, you can take what you like and leave what you don't. I'm just here to tell you what I have observed. So during this speech, again, we're going to think about what's important to that person, but we also want to make sure that we use the right words. Honest and harsh. Well, there's a huge difference between your organization could be improved to you appear to organize your thoughts the way squirrels hide acorns. One of them is a direct direct, harsh way to that person. We are here for delivery and to help people improve. A good way to do that tell and sell evaluation is not here's everything you did wrong. It's here's what's worked. Here's one or two things that you could do to make it even better. And here's why these changes will help you to succeed. The speaker leaves knowing exactly what to improve, and nobody's crying in the parking lot. But not only that, if you are a great evaluator, anybody listening to your evaluation can take that feedback and apply it to their speeches, whether or not they were the ones giving the speech. But let me tell you, have you ever heard of anyone say, in my honest opinion, and did it ever come out good after that? This is why we are not here for opinions. We are for what did you observe and how can we make it better? You should be thinking coach, not critic. Think mentor, not villain. To summarize, the best evaluations are going to accomplish three things: provide that immediate feedback, offer those practical suggestions, and help to build the self esteem. Because at heart, Toastmasters isn't about perfect speeches. Nancy's here every day. It's about helping people grow because every evaluator has a choice. You can be Bob the Destroyer or Bob the Builder. I implore you to be Bob, be the better Bob.